Fox 30 and 47. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I have a question. How do you like working for a company that refuses to cover a story when an investigator of 15 years, ex-law enforcement, provides proof of corrupt judges in this courthouse? I provided that same proof to your organization as well as every other news organization in this city, and they failed to cover this story.
That's something you'll have to speak to our managers about.
I'm asking you about your opinion. How do you like working for a company that endorses the stifle of the First Amendment?
I'm not going to answer that question.
No?
Sir. You have to speak to our managers.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I personally would be ashamed of myself to work for a company that endorses and acts as lapdogs to the judges in this courthouse. Ignoring corruption is supporting corruption. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right, everybody, we got a Fox News correspondent, or excuse me, First Coast News correspondent right here. Sir, I'm curious to ask you your opinion. How do you feel about working for an organization that refuses to cover corruption of the courthouse? I've provided them proof.
What you're talking about.
Yep. How do you feel about that? I've got proof right here that these judges are corrupt. I'm a 15-year fraud investigator, ex-law enforcement, and I'm willing to provide you proof of corrupt judges. I hope you know ignoring corruption is supporting corruption. I find it incredible you work for an organization that's supposed to be about the First Amendment, and yet you could care less about corruption in the courthouse. Absolutely amazing. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't even know how you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning. You sit there and tout the First Amendment, and you care less about corruption in this courthouse. What you all should be covering is proof of the corruption of these judges in this courthouse. All you news organizations continue to ignore the proof that's been provided to your organizations on the proof these judges are corrupt. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself journalists? I have proof this courthouse is violating the First Amendment, and you could care less. Go ahead and scurry off. Every one of you, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Sir, I'm exercising my First Amendment right. Do not even speak to me. Don't touch me and don't come close to me. Why do I not have a right to stand here?
Because you're creating a disturbance.
I am? What disturbance? You hear anyone here complaining other than yourself?
Sir, do you have a press pass?
Do you hear anyone complaining here other than yourself?
Do you have a press pass?
Your name and badge number, sir?
Yours?
Your name and badge number, sir. You're required by policy to issue your name and badge number when requested.
Sir, do you have a press pass?
You're refusing to give your name and badge number?
Step down off the steps.
Your name and badge number?
Officer Manwarren, 6632.
Your name and badge
Do
number?
you want to step down off the steps for me?
72846.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Deputy. Your name and badge number?
Ballard, 73285.
Thank you very much. I'm going to give you one last opportunity before I file an internal affairs case against you. What is your name and badge number?
Farrah,
Badge number.
119.
Thank you very much. Now, please explain to me why you're asking me to step off of these steps.
Because they have a press pass, you do not.
You do not need a
Okay.
press mask to stand on public property,
You
sir.
stand on the steps because you're impeding the impact coming down
Then
the
you
steps.
move out of my way and I'll walk.
ahead.
Move out of my way and I'll walk. Then I'll walk. I won't be standing here.
Okay, walk.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Exercising your authority to suppress my freedom of speech. Are you proud of yourself? I bet you go home and tell your kids you're a hero. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Some hero you are.
You can go both ways, sir.
Yeah. Real proud of yourself, right, buddy?
Yes, sir, I
You're a
am.
fine example of a deputy in this county.
Yes, sir.
Trying to intimidate me and trying to get me to move off public property because I'm exercising my First Amendment right. Look how you got me shaking. You guys are good at scaring people and intimidating people. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, deputy.
You have a nice day, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for violating my rights, deputy. Yeah. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, go ahead and smile and laugh. You're going to be judged, sir. You're going to be judged for your actions. You're going to meet your maker one day, and you will have to answer for your tyranny and for your actions of suppressing and violating people's rights. Just because you have that badge, sir, does not give you the right or extra rights above us citizens. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. A traitor to this country is what you are. Yeah, go back on side with you other criminal thugs. Yeah. Look at you, a bunch of gangs, legalized gangs. Go intimidate somebody as you can intimidate. You can't intimidate me. Yeah, go behind the locked gate. Look at you, go scamper off. What true patriots you are, protecting the First Amendment. Wow, you should be so proud of yourself. Look at you, look at the news organization, everybody, running away, playing lapdogs for these corrupt criminal justice system. Wow, what proud Americans we are.